Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome sis. My name is Yab, and in today's video I'm gonna do an in-depth brow tutorial on my client so that it could go from that and then you can end up with this. So let's hop right into it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So the first thing that I'm gonna do on my client, well, this is actually my friend or whatever, but the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take alcohol on a little pad, and I'm just going to clean off her eyebrows to get rid of any excess oils and stuff like that. And then I'm going to take some Got2b glue hair gel. I know, weird, right? But I'm going to be taking some Got2b glue hair gel on a spoolie, and I'm just going to be brushing her eyebrows into place. Now, I do this so that the hairs stay in place, and it gives this like that soapy brow effect, but it just keeps the hairs in place. It helps if your client's eyebrows are not done because it like glues down the other hairs around the brows that stick out, so that when you carve out the brows with concealer and stuff, the hairs won't poke out. If you're a makeup artist, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you just do makeup in general, when your brows aren't done and you try to put concealer over it where it's usually waxed or shaved and it looks weird. So when you glue them down like this with the Got2b glue hair gel, it stays in place and it kind of like fades away. It's like glued down so it won't show up, and it just keeps the brows and hairs, and it gives more of like a natural hair like finished. Like the hairs just look really prominent and they stand out. So I'm just going through the brows with the spoolie, and I'm using my hands to like really work in the product. And I do this for about a minute or two because it takes time for the glue to kind of like dry down or whatever. And then when I sculpt that into place, I take an eyebrow pencil. This is $1 eyebrow pencil from the beauty supply store. You can honestly take whatever you want, but I kind of recommend eyebrow pencils because they're more like natural looking in my opinion, rather than a pomade or whatever. So I just carve out her brows, and I try not to go too much under it because I don't want to make it too thick, but I also don't want to make it thinner than the natural shape. So I just kind of like stick to the natural shape, and I just make hair like strokes, and I just fill in the brows. Now when you're using gel, you have to be mindful that you can't go back in with the spoolie because the brows are kind of like gelled down, so it's kind of hard to get rid of that harsh look. So just be very light-handed when you are carving out the brow. Also, how I find the shape of people's brows, because everyone's brows are different, I kind of like measure the brow. So I make it start where the nose starts, the arch is like through the eye, and the ending, the tail doesn't go past the person's eye. There's like in-depth tutorials on how to measure people's eyebrows on YouTube, so you could go check that out. But yeah, I'm just carving out and sculpting her brows right now, just filling it in with hair like strokes. You guys can kind of like see what I'm doing. After you fill in the brows, this is how they're supposed to look after you glued it down and filled it in. So now we're going to move on to concealing. So I'm going to put the products that I use on the screen, of course, and the brush, of course. And what I do is I kind of like lift up the eyebrow and then carve it out because I really want to get close to the hairs and I really want to get that shape. And I just find that lifting up the brow like really lets me get in there. So I don't know, it's just what makes me comfortable. This is just how I do it personally. If you don't do it, maybe you should give it a try. It may help, you never know. So yeah, that's just how I do it, and I just carve out the brows. This part you can kind of like look and learn. And I drag the product down too because I like to blend it out while I go. And I also just don't want a whole bunch of products sitting there because sometimes I use a little bit too much. So I just drag it down so that it can be easily blended out later. And I'm just lifting up the brow once again and just carving out the shape that I want. If you guys want to like in-depth like how to measure brows, I'll post that too, but you just leave a comment down below. But yeah, I'm just carving it out. You guys can like see what I'm doing. And in a second, I'm gonna like draw a line to connect the brows because that's how I tell if they're even. How some people say, oh, eyebrows are sisters, not twins. Nope. If my client does not leave with her eyebrows looking like twins, she will not be leaving my chair. I cannot help it. I'm a perfectionist. So in order for me to achieve that, I draw a line in between the brows to like make sure that they're on the same level, they're the same height, they stop the same. It just makes everything easier to measure. And then of course I conceal the top with a different color. I use a lighter concealer on the bottom and a concealer that's a little closer to her skin color on the top, to maybe avoid that halo effect, but it's still lighter. Both of the concealers are lighter, it's just that one is darker than the other, if that makes sense. The top one is going to be more close to her skin. It's going to be lighter though, but it's going to be a little more closer to her skin. And the bottom one is just going to be way lighter than her skin because I want the eyebrows to really pop without looking too crazy. So those shades are probably, the bottom one is probably like 3 to 4 shades lighter. The top one is probably only like 2. So yeah, just carving that out. And I'm also going to draw that same line that I put in the middle on top, just to make sure once again that everything is the same. In my opinion, the key to getting like really fleeky brows is making sure that the ends are really sharp. And to do that, I'll take a little bit of the lighter concealer that I used at the bottom and go over the ends of the brow and just carve them out with that same color, because like I said, if the ends are really sharp, they just give the brows this nice look. So I just carved that out again, and then I blend it out with this Real Techniques concealer brush. I don't remember the specific name, but I'll put it on the screen, of course. So I'm just blending that out. Okay, so now we're gonna get rid of that middle part, and this is also the key to getting fleeky brows, making sure that the middle is not boxy. So I just take the same concealer brush and like drag the concealer down and just blend in whatever was in the middle. And then I take some product off from the beginnings of the eyebrows just to avoid the blocky look. And that's it. We're all done. Now, I know the concealer around the eyebrows look not blended, but you have to keep in mind that you're gonna put foundation and stuff over it when you continue to do the face, and you're gonna put eyeshadow on the lid, so it's not gonna look like that. It's gonna end up looking like this when you're done. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see from me down in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you guys in next week's video. Peace.